Hey guys, it's Nathan from the Kentucky Cycling YouTube channel. Today is an exciting day for me, and dare I say it, maybe even more exciting than a new bike day. It's New Adventure Vehicle Day. And I'm very excited to share with you a vehicle that I've been saving up for years to get. But it's a little bittersweet for me as I bid adieu to my old adventure vehicle. And I hope there's something in this video for you, not only if you are interested in the vehicle that I purchased, but just to encourage you that any vehicle you have can be an adventure vehicle so long as it carries you, your gear, and your buds out to whatever trail or adventure that you're going to have. The three qualities that I value most in an adventure vehicle are reliability, efficiency, and utility. And you'll see that both of these vehicles actually have all three of these, although the new one actually features this in a little higher proportions, I think you'll find, than the outgoing one. So reliability. I want a vehicle that's going to be highly reliable and get me where I need to go on my adventures and is not very likely to break down. In terms of efficiency, not paying a ton for gas to be able to get where you need to go to have your next adventure is high on the list. Basically, the less I spend on each adventure, the more of these I get to do. And then last but certainly not least is utility. Utility to carry not only you and your buds and your gear out to whatever trail or whatever adventure you're going to have, but to get you there, safely and to get you back again. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn around the camera and talk about not only, again, the new vehicle, but the outgoing vehicle, and talk to you about how they actually have more shared DNA than you might think. And last but not least, I really want to encourage each of you to get out, use whatever vehicle you have to get out and get outside, have your own adventure. That's really what all this is about. So without any further ado, it's time to meet the adventure vehicles. I'll start actually with my outgoing adventure vehicle, and that is the 2012 Toyota Prius Plug-in. This vehicle actually was owned by my buddy Lucas before me and has carried us on very many adventures. And you may look and say, oh man, a Prius, that's a little car. Well, you'd be surprised that the interior of this vehicle is actually, in terms of passenger space, not all that much smaller than the vehicle I'm purchasing. And then the hatchback makes it an incredibly versatile vehicle. On top of that, it'll take a hitch mount down here, so it carries two bikes on this rack. And then on top, I was able to add through one of these Thule racks, which you basically can add to any car. I think it's called a Aero Wing rack. And you can see I've got a place for a bike up here, and I sometimes carry a kayak as well. I'll say that just as an aside here, if you happen to have a Prius or a potential hatchback of about this size, I am going to take this rack off as I retire this vehicle and give it to my daughter, and we'll be selling that for about half of what I bought it for. The Prius is without a doubt the most reliable vehicle that I've ever owned, and in terms of efficiency, it's one of the most efficient vehicles on the road until you start loading it up with a bunch of stuff. So I'll say that this car has actually been really, really good to me and to the crew, and gotten us to a good many places, and it's handled everything that I've thrown at it, but it's a little underpowered for a true adventure vehicle. And on top of that, it's only got about 6 inches of ground clearance. So you can see the car that I just pulled up in my driveway. I just got back from getting this vehicle. This has been a long time coming for me. Is a Toyota RAV4 Prime. So it's their plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. The Toyota RAV4 is the most popular SUV in all of its trims in North America. And so when I say, that this has utility, a lot of you out there are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And in terms of it having a potential tie to Kentucky, I'll say that for those of you who are out of state, you may not realize this, but the largest Toyota plant in the world is actually in Georgetown, Kentucky, just about 20 minutes away from where I live. And while this vehicle was made in Japan, actually both of these vehicles were likely made at the exact same plant in Japan. This shares a lot of its DNA with internal combustion engine cousins. It's actually got the exact same internal combustion engine as the ICE version of this car. And then the hybrid version shares it as well. The 2012 Toyota Prius was the very first plug-in hybrid that Toyota introduced in North America. It is really just designed with efficiency in mind. It had a limited amount, you can see it's plugged in here, of all-electric range. When it was new, it was about 12 miles. Now, fast forward some 12 years, 13 years later, it's actually down to about 8 miles, and I drive like an old man in this car trying to get around town, trying to get someplace on all electric. But after that is over, it actually behaves just like a regular Prius. So it basically just works to make that engine more efficient and burn less gasoline. And again, less gasoline burn translates to more adventures to be had. Fast forward some, so we've got 2012, now this is a 2021, so this is a used RAV4 Prime. These are incredibly hard to source, especially if you're trying to buy new. It's very, very difficult, especially in our area. But if you're buying used, you can have a little more luck, particularly if you look to a service like CarMax, which is what I ended up doing. So this car was actually paid to have shipped to the Lexington CarMax, and then I was able to get it, take it for a 24-hour test drive, which is really nice, and they offer a warranty on it for a little while as well. So I'll say, in great contrast to the Prius, which is efficient, yes, but powerful, no. The RAV4 Prime, when it came out, was the second fastest vehicle in the Toyota fleet, second only to the Supra. So this vehicle, it works in combination. The gasoline engine and the electric motors work with a larger lithium-ion battery to produce a combination of 302 horsepower. So this is no slouch. I'm still probably likely to drive like an old man, so you know, it's nice to know that the power is there, but I'm really interested in the efficiency and the added utility I could potentially get from this vehicle. This vehicle is estimated, EPA estimated, to, when you plug it in, take just onto a regular wall outlet overnight, about 12 hours, you get about 42 miles of all electric range. And I've done the math. I can tell you that in Kentucky, electricity is relatively cheap, and that electricity costs, on a per mile basis, about half, or actually a little less than half, of what the gasoline will actually cost me to go someplace. So going around town, I get all the benefits of the electric vehicle. When I get on the highway, it actually is going to behave like a regular hybrid. It's still going to get very good gas mileage, combined of about 38, so like 36 on the highway, about 40 around town with the hybrid engine. I'm planning to retire from my full-time job in sometime next summer and hope to do more adventures, and I hope to use this as a little mini camper. And this guy will plug in. You can actually get climate control in this vehicle because it's got a heat pump, which is not the case with my old car. That car, if you stepped on the gas too hard, or if you turn on the heat in the winter, all kinds of things would kick on the gasoline engine. Not so. It's far less likely to happen in this vehicle because it's got a heat pump, so down to about 20 degrees it'll actually heat on that electricity, and so I can have climate control in this vehicle. So I do plan to outfit it eventually with some kind of a sleeping platform. So if you're interested in seeing more content about this vehicle, do let me know in the comments or ask me questions about my process. Very, very happy to share. Ultimately, again, what I'm interested in doing is seeing more people get outside and have their own adventures. So anything I can do to help to be part of that is right up my alley. So that's it. It's new adventure vehicle day for me, and I'm really excited. Looking forward to many adventures to come. And my daughter's very excited about getting the Prius. Still, again, most reliable vehicle I've ever had. There's part of me that's very sorry to see it go, but glad to see it stay in the family, and looking forward to many, hopefully, long years of service with this guy right here, taking me out to various parts of the state and beyond to explore all those great cycling resources.
As always, we hope you found this content useful. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks.